Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to Tough Love Thursday, episode 13. I can't believe it. And wow, the feedback from these episodes have been absolutely incredible. As I've been sharing these live here in my private Facebook group, Simply Balanced Health. If you're not already in that group, come join. Love having these live conversations every week with all of you here. And of course, sharing the recording and replays of this over on the podcast, the Beyond Sugar Freedom podcast, and just so grateful for all of the love and support and feedback that I've been getting about these little tough love truths that I come in here and share with you each and every week. I'm absolutely loving it. And oh boy, do I have some doozies in store for you coming up over the coming weeks, especially as we get into the holiday season. So definitely don't miss one of these. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you've joined my Facebook group so we can really dive in deep together. Because the whole purpose of these calls, these little Tough Love Thursdays, as you know, is to share some tough truths from the heart. And today's tough truth is less tough and more hopefully inspiring to remind you that you are the medicine. So there's a message that I want you so deeply to understand today and forever is that you have everything that you need to heal and to solve any problem that you are currently dealing with already within yourself. Now, I know that this gets a little meta and a little woo-woo, but it is so powerful when we start to understand the laws of the universe, and the law of attraction, for example, right? But even just the law of our own resiliency and the law of our own intuition and our own deep inner knowledge that we all have inside our body. And this is where my passion for helping women reconnect with their bodies to really come home to themselves and know who they truly are while listening to and trusting the messages that our body sends to us on a daily basis. Our body is always communicating to us. And when we start to understand that we are our own medicine, we are our own spoonful of medicine. And we have the power through our thoughts, through our energy, through our intuition, through taking action, obviously, in our lives to overcome anything that we may be challenged with. I think so many of us, and actually, I'll preface this with that I was just at a conference this weekend. I was at an incredible conference called the Spirit Plant Medicine Conference with thought leaders and world-class doctors and psychiatrists and scientists, as well as shamans and coaches and other healers coming together to talk about the power of psychedelics and plant medicines in our healing journey. Something I'm very passionate about. I'm going to be talking a lot more about here on the podcast as I start to come out of the closet with my work with these substances. But what I see, I mean, these substances are just an example. This really came up a lot this weekend because what we can tend to do as human beings, and it's not just with these medicines, it's with everything, is start to believe that we need something outside of ourselves to heal. And I see this show up all the time in the sugar addiction space, right? I need a program, I need a summit, I need a new book, I need that next thing, that doctor, I need a prescription, I need surgery, like whatever it is, it's this constant seeking outside of ourselves for something to help us, right? To help us heal. We are constantly outward focused on searching and seeking and grappling and grabbing at any quote unquote solution that may give us a little bit of reprieve from what we're struggling with. And maybe for you, that's binging and the guilt and shame that comes from really being trapped in the sugar roller coaster. Or maybe it's physical pain that you're dealing with and maybe bigger problems in your life. So this reminder really came through strong from a lot of the speakers that I saw this weekend. And I wanted to pass it on to all of you in really remembering that you are the medicine. You have an innate healing intelligence that exists inside of you. We all do. We have an amazing ability to tune in and connect with our inner healer. We talk a lot about this when we talk about the plant medicine world and work is these tools, whether it's psychedelics, breath work, yoga, hypnosis, therapy, books, summits, all of these external pieces are tools that may help us access our own innate healing ability. We call it the inner healer, our inner healer. And I know this might be a lot for you to wrap your head around. This might be a completely new concept. If you're very science-minded, if you're very stuck in your head still, this is an invitation for you to honor and begin being curious about the possibilities that lie below the neck, in the wisdom of your body, in the wisdom of your nervous system, in the wisdom of your cells and your intuition and your energetic field. Because therein lies your answers. And I can share a very practical example of this. Years ago, I started the practice of taking myself away on what I call the Danny retreats, where I consciously take myself away to disconnect from work, from my computer, from my relationships, from my phone, and reconnect with myself. And these retreats are really about getting silent and being with myself, being with my thoughts, being with my body. And what I noticed after a few hours, sometimes it took a full day, is all of a sudden I would start having these insights. I would usually be going into that retreat with some intentions around some things that I'm struggling with, or some decisions I need to make, or possibly some questions about the next direction in my life, or things that I'm stumbling over. And every single time that I choose to get still and tune into my body and spend that time with myself inward, not outward, not reading a book, not listening to a podcast, inward, I always had the answer. And this was the really start of the journey for me in understanding this, embodying this understanding that I am the medicine. I am my own healer. And I want to pass that on to you and encourage you to, if this is a totally crazy new idea, to begin by just creating more space to be still and silent with yourself every day. And this could be a meditation practice. It could be a nice walk in nature without your phone, and just to start listening. Start turning the microscope inward to your body and your brain. Your thoughts will be there. We're human. We have thoughts, but your body. And begin to build that relationship with your intuition and your inner healer, because it takes practice, especially when we live in a patriarchal society that has taught us that if we're not in our head analyzing, thinking, being, doing, the human doing, right? It takes a lot of practice to get back into the human beingness of our life and our existence on this planet. And when you do, you are going to start realizing very clearly that you already have all the answers within. So practically speaking, you're listening to this probably because you struggle with sugar, right? You struggle with food, and maybe the cravings are ravaging you, or you've tried countless sugar detoxes in the past and you just can't seem to kick the white stuff because it's so good and you just struggle. I want you to remember that, yes, obviously listening to this podcast is important. Listening to me talk and the insights that I'm sharing is important, but it is nowhere near as important as the wisdom that you already hold within. You already know what is blocking you from being free with sugar. You already know what's standing in their way. You already know what wounds need to be healed. You just don't know that you know. And this is the reminder that I want to share with you today, to start the process of clearing the cobwebs, of pulling the branches apart, to see the trail, to see the waterfall of information that already lies within you. And there are many tools that we can use to get there. And that's what I love doing inside my programs. We're going to be diving into a lot of those tools in the upcoming Break Free from Sugar program, in those tools of how do we actually then reconnect to this wisdom and learn to listen to it and learn to bring forth our inner healer. So there you have it, everyone. Your powerful, tough love for the day, more of like a tough inspiration, and this truth that you have probably, like 99% of humans, been seeking outside of yourself for answers, and it's not working. And it's time, sister, to reclaim that wisdom from within and to fully understand that you are your own healer and you have all the answers you already need. So there you have it. Would love to hear your thoughts, opinions, questions, All of it is welcome here. If you're listening on Facebook, drop your question, comment, thought in the comments below. And of course, if you're on the podcast, come on over and join the Facebook group and we keep the conversation going there. But thank you so much for tuning in to another episode. I can't wait already to be right back here with all of you next week, same time, same place. We'll see you then.